hour. Now, the news on Access Radio 88.8 FM.
On Access FM.
Good afternoon, it's 6 o'clock. Welcome to Access Radio Evening News Bulletin. I'm Emmanuel Malis. Richard Fast. The headlines. Youth associations to launch constructions of multipurpose facility in Yei. Civil society group welcomes ban on harmful drugs in Yei. And Yei commissioner donates bicycle to deaf resident. And now the news in details. The chairperson of the Yei River County Youth Association has announced plans to launch the constructions of a new multipurpose youth facility in Yei town on Tuesday. Gaga Frank Justin, head of the Youth Association, told Access Radio ahead of the launch that the facility will serve as a center for skills development aimed at addressing unemployment and capacity gaps among young people in the county.
But of course, the importance of having this Youth Multipurpose and Development Center is to ensure that we use the center to positively empower the young people in terms of digital trainings or skill development training programs. This center is going to help the youth in terms of creativity and innovation programs that will run within the center.
The project will include the constructions of an office block, sanitation facilities, and a training hall equipped with computers, internet access, and solar power. Justin emphasized that the center will play a key role in empowering youth through computer literacy, leadership development, and entrepreneurship training. He added that the facility will also support cultural and sport activities while promoting peace building, creativity, and innovations among young people. The center will be established in the Guava area behind the office of the county commissioner. The project, valued at $50,000 is funded by the United Nations Mission in South Sudan and implemented by the National NGO Support for Peace and Development Program. The facility is expected to accommodate more than 500 people, with constructions scheduled to be completed within 6 months. According to Frank, the center will not only benefit youth in Yei River County but also young people from across South Sudan's 10 states and 3 administrative areas. He called on young people to engage in peaceful and productive activities that promote unity.
We have got diverse cultures here. We need to work together as young people, irrespective of our tribes. And I want to also emphasize that this center is not only for the youth of Yei. Whoever is in Yei and is a youth, if you are within the age bracket of youth, that means you are free to benefit from this center. You can also join the youth within the center and do the same activities of the youth together with the youth of Yei.
The Yei Civil Society Forum, a grassroots civic watchdog group, has welcomed the county government's move to ban the consumption of harmful drugs and illicit alcoholic spirits in Yei town. The ban, announced last Friday, targets substances such as tramadol and locally produced alcohol, commonly known as Mohaba gin, among others, which the group says have contributed to rising social challenges. Speaking to Access Radio on Monday, Modi Arcangelo attributed the increasing consumption of such substances to negative consequences, including school dropouts and a surge in crime at the community level.
It is really a very good move that they have done as a county for the first time. And these drugs have really caused a lot of harm to the community, mostly to the youths and the children. And these have contributed a lot to school dropout of children in this county. So this really, it is harmful to our children, and they make them always to feel figurated, and they feel people who are just like a threat to the community. And dealing with this kind of things and banning them like this one, it will really bring a kind of a change.
Arcangelo called on the county authorities to enforce stricter regulations on the supply and distributions of harmful substances. He cautioned that without consistent implementations, the banned drugs could return to widespread use.
it should not be only ending with this one. If it should be a continuous effort that can be made every month, they carry out the exercise, I think this can be able to help the community to reduce this kind of crimes. And I'm sure that this high rate of consumption of this alcohol and these drugs have really increased crimes activities within the community.
Early on Friday, Yei River County Commissioner Samuel Henry Malimbo stated that the destructions of confiscated items was conducted publicly to ensure transparency and accountability. He noted that journalists were invited to witness the disposal process, which included expired medicines, illegal spirits, and banned drugs. County authorities have pledged to intensify inspections and enforcement efforts to curb drug abuse, safeguard public health, and create a safer environment for communities across Yei River County. A bicycle has been handed over to a deaf resident of Yei River County to improve his mobility and support his daily activities in what local officials describe as a step towards greater inclusion for persons living with disabilities. Martin Lomoro Emmanuel, who has lived with a hearing impairment since birth, received a new bicycle during a handover ceremony in Yei on 29th June 2026. Speaking through sign language, he thanked the county administrations for the gesture and described it as the first time in his life that he had received such support. He said the bicycle will significantly ease his movement and enable him to carry out his day-to-day activities more independently. The donation was made by the Commissioner of Yei River County, Samuel Henry Malimbo, who reaffirms the county administration's commitment to supporting vulnerable members of the community, including persons living with disabilities, and promoting their inclusions in social and economic activities. Construction materials have arrived at the site of the long-awaited Kanjoro Bridge in Yei River County, with work expected to begin once remaining deliveries are completed. County authorities said 6 truckloads of river sand and 6 trips of aggregates and several loads of hardcore stones have already been delivered to the project site. An additional 8 truckloads of construction materials are still expected before work officially begins. In support of the project, Point Investment Engineering Company donated more than 100 bags of cement to facilitate the start of the bridge constructions. The Commissioner of Yei River County, Samuel Henry Malimbo, accompanied by the State Revenue Director for Yei, Chandigarh, and Access Radio Station Chief Johnson Poru Hillary, visited the construction sites on 29 June 2026 to assess the progress of preparations and inspect the available materials. You are listening to Access Radio News. A high-level government delegation has arrived in Rokon to claim intercommunal tensions and secure lasting peace between the Mundari and Moru communities following a cattle recovery mission in Dolo Payam last week. The team is led by the co-chair security advisor for Central Equatoria State and the commissioner of Terekeka County. Their visit responds to the latest wave of violence and retaliatory cattle raids that have severely affected the region. The security situation escalated after cattle were stolen from the Moru community in Western Equatoria, which in then triggered counter raids by armed youth. Last week on June 26, the same delegations traveled to Dolo Payam to secure the return of cattle allegedly looted by armed pastoralists. That mission sought to recover animals belonging to the Moru community of Western Equatoria State and the Mundari community of Central Equatoria State following a peace consensus reached earlier. South Sudan's border revenue operations are set for expansions as customs officials move to open new stations at 6 key crossing points. The plan aims to strengthen trade control and increase the collections of state income. Assistant Commissioner of Customs for Western Equatoria State, Colonel Juma M. Adams, announced the plan following a meeting with Governor Badabu Daniel Rembasa on Monday. The new post will be located at the Gangura, Nabiapai, and Sakure, Ezo, Tombra, and Iba. Colonel Adams said the expansion is part of a wider efforts to improve border protections and revenue collections. He noted that the meeting focused on his division's core duties, including trade facilitations, border protections, and cooperations with the state government. Governor Rimbasa welcomed the initiative and offered full backing from his administration, he said the state government is committed to supporting customs work and ensuring taxes are managed with transparency. And elsewhere, the European Union has allocated 1.5 million euros to support reproductive health and gender-based violence services for vulnerable women and girls in South Sudan, with around 350,000 people expected to benefit across 4 states. The funding, to be managed by the United Nations Population Fund, will provide essential reproductive health supplies, including emergency kits and dignity kits to health facilities and centers assisting survivors of gender-based violence. The initiative will target communities in Jonglei, Unity, Upper Nile, and Western Equatoria states, according to the statement. UNFPA South Sudan said the support comes as conflict, displacement, flooding, and diseases outbreaks continue to disrupt access to basic health services across large parts of the country. The project, which will run through September 2027, aims to strengthen emergency health care for women and girls, expand access to life-saving services in some of the country's most vulnerable areas. And to end the news, here is the recap of the main stories once again. Yei Association to launch constructions of multipurpose facility in Yei. Civil society group welcomes ban on harmful drugs in Yei. And Yei commissioner donates bicycle to deaf resident. For more news, log on to our website at www.radioyei.org. You can also follow us on Facebook at Access Radio 88.8 FM Yei. And if there is any news story you would like Access Radio to report, call or send us a WhatsApp message on +211 927 588 870. From me and the rest of the team, I have been Emmanuel Malis Richard. Thanks for listening.